Anyway, AITA for expecting my daughter to reimburse me for the wedding. She canceled. My daughter was supposed to get married next month. 2 weeks ago, she told me and her mother that she and her fiance had split up and the wedding was canceled. She was too distraught to explain why, and we didn't push her for deets. Instead, my wife comforted her and told her she was sure they'd work it out. We all three agreed not to take any steps toward canceling the wedding. Another week went by, during which we believed daughter and fiancé were working it out, as my daughter had said. During this week, the date passed when payments to wedding vendors became non-refundable. As the parents of the bride, my wife and I paid for all this. It's about $17,000 total. Cheap wedding.
Ooh.
Last week, my daughter's...
That is a cheap wedding.
That's so cheap. Last week, my daughter... It's probably like inside an RV. Last week, my daughter's...
In Iowa.
Yeah.
With the caucus.
Uh-huh.
Last week with felons. Last week, my daughter's former fiance contacted me to find out if there was anything I needed him to sign to make sure the vendors were canceled. I told him that I thought they were still going forward with the wedding. He told me he had been excited to be a part of our family, but that my daughter had made her bed and had to lie in it.
Ooh.
Damn.
That was very bold.
I don't like that phrase. Come to find out, my daughter cheated on him, and when he confronted her about it, she admitted to him that she didn't want to marry him and ended the relationship. He also told me that at no point between my daughter calling us to tell us the wedding was off and him contacting me had they discussed working it out. My wife and I called my daughter and verified that all of this was true. Her reaction was to get angry that her fiance had reached out to me. I said I was glad he did because otherwise we would have had no indication that the wedding was off. She said she couldn't believe I was worried about that while her life was in ruins. I told her that her life was in ruins because of her own bad decisions, and now I was $17,000 on the hook for it. She said paying for her wedding was my duty as her father, and I have no right to throw it back in her face. I told her I was happy to pay for the wedding, but not to waste my money only for her to cancel the wedding, so I expect her to pay me back. Youchies. She said there was a fat fucking chance of that and hasn't spoken to me since. Why is a fat chance unlikely? Do we ever wonder about that?
That's
You're
true.
right.
Body
You think
shaming.
that's a good chance.
Yeah.
Because there's a larger...
Yes. A slim chance should
Yeah.
be
Well, they're
almost none.
both.
Slim chance and a fat chance be the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah, the Republicans at it again.
Are you,
Danny, this is a non-political podcast.
Ah!
are you a Republican? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just saying that the Republicans. My Al-Qaeda. Oh, my poor wife has been stuck. ISIS been stuck playing mediator.
Cannot.
And my daughter has said that if I ever ask her about the money again, it will be the last time she ever speaks to anyone in our family.
Oh, geez.
My wife agrees with me that our daughter should pay for the canceled wedding, but thinks that we're heaping it on too hard. Now, you rarely hear about heaping it on because my daughter...
Guy's all over the place with his idioms.
He's all over the place. He's diverse, damn it. My daughter is in emotional pain over her failed engagement. I can understand that, and while obviously I don't enjoy seeing my child hurting, I can't believe she did something so stupid and selfish as to lie to us for a week and effectively demolish our chance at recovering any of the money we spent. Man, this is long. I'm willing to admit that relationships are complicated and I don't know what led her to cheat, but once she knew the wedding was off, she should have come clean to us about the full situation. I think circumstances of the wedding being canceled warrant my daughter paying back the money. AITA. Oh
So wait,
God.
I'm sorry, but why don't you like the phrase, like, you made your bed, now lie in it? This seems actually very apt in this scenario.
Well, first of all, I guess I feel like I don't like the metaphor. The metaphor doesn't work because if I make my bed, I will lie in it. And if I don't make it, I'll also lie in it. And it'll still be great because it's a bed.
Or is
Oh
it
my
weird
God.
because it's like bed is a place where something sexual happens and you don't want a parent to say that?
No, that doesn't bother me.
Okay. You like to think about your
A
parents.
bed is
sexually.
always good. That's why I don't like the phrase.
Okay.
That's why I don't like it.
All right.
Why made your
Because
bed?
Daddy doesn't make his bed.
Yes.
That's why.
His
Well, you don't need to
girlfriend
make a bed.
does.
That's ridiculous. That is a thing that the Republicans tried to push on us.
Right.
You can just have your bed, and then when you get
And
in,
eat it too.
you pull it. Yes. I love that.
And enjoy a fat chance.
Just pull the comforter over you.
I'm
Why do I
fucking
need
dead.
to tuck it in and shit? Why?
Yeah, let yourself be free, man.
We have 2 comforters at my house, by the way. I don't share
Oh,
blankets.
I have comforters, 2 comforters also.
I don't share blankets with an individual.
Wait, you have 2 separate ones?
2 separate
Oh.
comforters. Danny gets her blanket. I get my blanket. Don't touch my fucking blanket.
I love that. I
I
think
like
if
that.
I ever date someone, I need to have 2 separate beds because I cannot
if I
share
ever
beds.
date someone, love that. Like if I ever in my life date someone,
I can't speak to that yet.
Yeah, I understand. Are they asking if they're the asshole for getting the daughter to pay?
Expecting my daughter to reimburse me.
No, not at all.
I don't think so at all.
This daughter is a dick.
Yeah.
She is.
I hate cheaters. I hate cheating so much.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking hot button.
I guess when I think of it as she made her bed.
Pretty lukewarm take.
Yeah.
She made her bed as in, and then it kind of works. So she probably cheated.
Exactly.
In bed.
That's what I'm saying. In this situation,
All right,
it's actually
retracted,
so apt. She made
retracted.
her bed with another man. Now she
Yeah.
has to lie in it and pay her parents back $17,000.
Yeah. I mean, who does that? Who
Charge
cheats?
her interest. Fuck this bitch.
Well, it's also like
Yeah.
who calls off their own wedding and then does the like, well, maybe, I don't know, it might be back on thing.
Yeah, she's a dick.
Like Danny when she can't decide if she wants to go to the concert.
Sure. Right.
Oh, let me tell you, she's sure that she wants to get married.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We'll just let
Now
that
a
sit.
dating advice podcast.
I am under
Strap
duress.
in, everyone.
I am under duress. Call the police. Jillian C. writes, NTA, daughter is. As the fiance says, she made her bed, but she clearly cannot handle the consequences of her actions. She's totally TA.
I like that we just mixed two metaphors
Yeah.
there.
We're all over the
She
place.
made the bed, now she can't take the heat, so stay out the
We're
kitchen.
very diverse with our metaphors today.
Hey, all over the place. Mandy H. writes, NTA, but this is poor planning. Cancel everything the second the wedding is called. Yeah, if you're going to cheat at the right time.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
don't hear that enough. In the
If you're
media.
gonna cancel something, just decisively canceled it. Like this person who canceled on me for a semi-date when Kobe Bryant died.
Oh.
He like
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's so-
yeah, he just like I didn't care about that. I was like, listen, whatever, everyone has personal relationships with celebrities. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't
But what he had texted me was, hey, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to make it out. Like,
And then what do you
given
do?
this
Beg
news.
him, please.
No. But then I was like, okay, but
ridiculous.
like, are you going to come or not? Like, could you have just said.
Wasn't even a full cancel.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a full cancel. It
Infuriating.
was, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it out. And I was like,
When will you know?
Yeah.
When will your body know?
it's like an hour and a half before. So like,
So you
Okay.
sit at a bar and just wait for him to.
no, I would never do that.
Yeah. Good for you. Fuck that.
No, I was like, okay, cool. Like, do what you got to do, I guess. But like, just cancel the wedding
Yeah.
and the plans with
Yeah.
me. It's fine.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's tough. Top Reddit comment by Wonder Twinkles. Great username. It's
Aw,
nice. Kind
cute,
of. I see like a
wholesome.
rainbow. It's like there's kind of like twinkles coming off it. There's a unicorn grazing at the base. NTA. Your daughter lied to multiple people and has caused a huge mess emotionally and financially. The financial fallout is on you at the moment. However, you have to realize that you'll never get that money back. If you ask for it, she'll cut you all off. If you sue her for it, same deal. I don't know if you can sue.
Yeah.
You maybe could, but that is such white people shit.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I don't think that will work. So the question is, your money or your family relationship? This sucks because the one who caused all this is your daughter, who's in a lot of pain, even if it is her own fault. Good
Yeah.
point, Wonder Twinkles.
Aw.
She's like a little flying fairy.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Is this a good point? I don't know.
I think
that
it is because listen, the daughter, she's hurting. She just blew up her whole life. How old? Do we know? How
Yeah,
old
not
she is?
everyone who cheats is like a complete sociopath devoid of emotions.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if she's younger, it's also like a potentially just like you didn't want to get married, but you felt pressured, so you did it anyways because you're a
Yes.
young person.
Maybe he pressured her.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I do agree that, I don't know, when someone irresponsible owes you money, I think you do have to kind of in your mind be okay with the idea that you're not getting that money back. Like I've lent money to people, or like I've gotten someone a hotel room who was like out for the night, like wasn't able to be responsible for themselves. And in my mind, I'm like, this person is out of sorts and I just need to be at peace with the idea that I'm not getting this money back.
I think that's very mature, and I
Yep.
think that points to a serious weakness with the father because he is vengefully wanting to charge her
Yeah.
that money, and what he needs to focus on is getting through this and teaching the lesson.
Well, yeah, he's behaving in a sort of petty manner, but the daughter is immature too. That's because she's probably been raised in a bad household. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
wouldn't say
mean,
it's
I
bad.
don't know if we need to go that far, but I just think that dad needs to back off and be like, hey, like, this is what's happening. Obviously, we don't want you to end our relationship with us, but like, you do have to come to grips with what you have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like obviously the daughter can't afford to pay them back because otherwise she would have financed her wedding herself.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
Well,
like
no,
I don't.
mean, it's tradition. It's tradition that the bride's dad pay. That's not necessarily that she couldn't afford it, but she probably can because
But
she's
she-
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably can't if she's not able or like willing to pay any of this back. And like a lot of people nowadays put at least some money towards their own wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
So
tidbit.
like,
Yeah, age seems like a big factor here. It would be good to know
Yeah.
her age for sure.
what I think that they should do is like, I think that they should just have the party anyway. Have it
Yeah.
be like a fun family party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Invite the daughter or don't. Like,
Yeah.
leave it up to her, to be honest. This money it's a sunk cost.
Yeah.
Might as well just have fun with the fucking open bar.
Get wasted.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
Maybe
would do.
have the son, or not the son, but the
The
husband.
cheaty.
Oh my god, that would be so fucked up. It's like, hey, we're gonna have your wedding without you.
Yeah, you ruined it.
'Cause you
know?
cheated?
You cheated.
Take Insta stories with him.
Oh my
tag
god,
him.
use their wedding
Yeah.
hashtag. Ooh.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, but
But she's behaving like a monster, like, to be clear.
Yeah.
no, she's horrible. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling vexed when I get back to the question. AITA for expecting my daughter to reimburse me for the wedding she
Hell
canceled.
no. My parents would obviously
I think it's a
do that shit too. They'd be like, okay, yeah, well, they'd probably be like, well, you're either going to pay this back to us or you're completely on your own for the next wedding.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yes.
just not a free check that I get to write off
yeah.
from the bank of mom and dad.
I also
So,
think
no, it's not crazy to expect that.
I'm not a parent. I don't understand this unconditional situation that parents have towards their children because I
Hard.
don't have
Must suck.
I don't have a child.
Yeah.
But when you have children, they can be bad people and assholes, and you cannot approve of them, but also still like love this person. You know, when someone's being a fuck up, I think you kind of have to let them be a fuck up and figure it out on their own. Trying to demand money from her right now is not really going to be productive.
Yeah, it's also like,
Exactly, yeah. And
I
it's
think
not
it's a week
parental.
before the canceled wedding or a week
Yeah.
before the wedding. So it's kind of like emotions are running high. I
Yeah.
think the money is probably the last thing on her
Yeah.
mind, I would imagine.
It's kind of incidental. The whole thing is a fucking mess.
I think it's a bad thing to lead with as a parent. I don't think the expectation itself is the problem. I think it's a fair expectation to some extent, but like I really do think it's very. I just don't think that's where his head needs to be. I think he's angry
Right.
now.
Right.
Yeah.
The first thing that happened is, oh, well, you're going to pay us the money back, right? I think maybe it's almost like a bit of anger at the daughter
Yes.
for blowing
Yes.
up that life.
Yes.
Because, like, if the fiance had cheated on her, I don't think he would be, like, chasing him for the money.
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, yeah.
Like,
Now you've changed it.
You really?
Now you've really changed my mind.
I think he's mad at his daughter.
He's mad at his daughter.
For being a
Actually, you just
fuck
put
up.
me at YTA. You
Yeah.
just put me
Whoa!
at YTA.
I didn't even mean
Because
to do
you're
that. I don't even know what I
absolutely
think.
right.
Yeah.
Had the husband fucked up the wedding, no way in hell would he go for him to get the money. So
No,
then
and
this shouldn't
obviously
be
he
about the
wouldn't
money.
be asking the daughter for it. He would be, like, consoling her. So he's just mad that she's canceling this wedding.
Yeah.
And there, I think it was far more reasonable what you said earlier. He should say, like, look, that was it. I paid for your wedding. The wedding's not happening because of you. You got one. Sorry.
Yep, one and done.
This is him attempting to parent her by like wagging his finger at her. When someone's fucking up, wagging your finger at them is not.
Well,
You
I
should
don't
do
see
it to
this
a
as
certain-
wagging your finger, though, because what is wagging your finger? I see this as vengeful, right? Because there's really no situation, like, imagine the wedding gets rained out or some other, like
Yeah.
act of nature.
Or there's, like, a hurricane.
yeah, you
whatever.
you would never ask for your money. Like, that's just not how that works.
Yeah.
But what do you mean by wagging your finger? No.
Being like you're a fuck up and I need you to pay me back because you're a fuck up, and like continuing to just make her feel guilty about this colossal mess that she's made.
Right.
As someone who's made colossal messes of my life,
Right.
people reiterating it to me never was productive. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you
Yeah.
know when you fuck up. And also, like, you know how to behave, and behaving only comes from within. So you can be like,
I think there's a way. There's a way to broach, right?
of course.
Like, there are so
Not a
many
free for
people,
all.
not so many, but a handful of people who told me before I quit drinking, like, hey, like, the way you drink is abnormal.
yeah, sure.
And the first one didn't do it, and the third one didn't do it. But by the fifth one, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no. So now this is like a defined pattern. Like,
Yeah.
people are telling me, like, I drink to excess a lot.
I agree. And
You know?
I was a similar situation, but I think the fact that the first or the second didn't do it does say something about the fact that, like, it's a combo factor.
Yeah,
But the
it
real
adds up.
decision comes from within.
It does. The decision comes. I think the way to lead with when you're trying to guide someone is to not be like, you need to do this. You fucked up. You need to do that. That's very judgmental. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm really concerned about you.
Yeah.
You know, coming more from that.
This is not like you,
Right.
and this is not the person that I raised. I guess if you're gonna, that's
that's
still
a little harsh.
I don't know. I've
This is
I
not
don't.
the person that I raised.
Yeah, I've had like when
Is that productive, you think?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it is.
You know, it hits different when your parents are disappointed.
Yeah, it does.
Versus
Okay.
mad.
'Cause
I also think here the mom is like, I think the mom is kind of on the money. Like, I feel like I don't want to call the daughter like a total monster as a person, because I do feel like the parents are on the same page in terms of like the money and this is not good. The wife is being like, yeah, she should pay for it, but like right now is not the time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the dad is like only zeroing. He says, I can't believe she did something so stupid and selfish, but it's not the cheating. It is as to lie to us for a week and demolish our chance at recovering any of the money we spent. So like, he's like,
yeah,
he's only thinking about the money.
yeah, and she's
Yeah.
lying because she's spiraling. She's not. It's not really.
And it was
about
probably
them.
like a messy situation. Like she was like, we shouldn't get married. I cheated. And then they were probably like, well, should we maybe try? Maybe not. And then they probably went back and forth for a while, I would imagine,
Yeah,
for like this week.
yeah.
But maybe I'm like putting too much credit to her, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I agree with you that the mom is being more reasonable. But you switched me.
Whoa.
You switched me
okay,
into YTA.
nice.
AITA for expecting my daughter to reimburse me for the wedding she canceled. I say YTA because, yeah.
Wow.
Where do you guys sit?
I actually don't think he's the asshole. I don't like that he's so focused on the money right now, but like the concept is pure.
Yeah. I think that you have a right, especially since it's your money that was on the line. I think you have a right to say to your child, I don't like the way that you're behaving and there's negative consequences to it. Demanding money as your primary concern is a little off base.
It's a little off base for a friend. I think from a parent, it's the exactly off the mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that yelling at her is going to get her to pay you back.
So can I get an everyone sucks
know.
here? Can we meet in the middle, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know, because the daughter is like, there's a fat chance of me paying you back. Like, she's really now
Well,
doing
she doesn't
emotional
owe him.
blackmail.
That's not how it works.
Yeah,
That's no. Come on. Your parents need to like instill you with some sort of like respect for them,
yeah.
and also guilt if you fuck them over. Like, I
But
could
she's-
never imagine acting in this way and being like, there's a fat chance I'm paying you back. I'm either pocketing this like $17,000 worth of a party, or you're never speaking to me again. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just feel like this girl is really, really in it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
She just blew up her own life. Like, the
I-
wedding is nothing. It's the life that she blew up behind the wedding.
I feel like we're wondering what good parenting looks like, and I think people have different views on what good parenting looks like. You know,
Yeah, I'm just kind of extrapolating from like what would happen if I did this to my parents, and like it would be a given that I would pay them back, or the next wedding would be on me, and I would never
Yes.
like.
Well, those
speak
are
to
two
them
very
this
different
way.
things, though, Sarah. I think the next wedding being on you is far more reasonable because that's saying, look, you got one as a gift. You didn't use it, and that's that.
yeah.
I think that's fair, and that's why I'm saying that this feels like vengeance, and that this is actually an ESH from my perspective, because there's no way that the daughter isn't an asshole. I mean, she's a monster.
yeah. I think yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he's wrong for like
Come to our
wanting
side.
him
Mhm.
wanting to get that money back in some way, shape, or form.
I think he can want, but I don't think he can demand currently because the situation is
Like,
clearly
is
such
he
a
demanding
shitstorm.
it?
He's asking if he can expect it, and I don't think he
He's not
should.
I think he should. I mean, I think he could expect it.
Yeah.
could expect it.
If I did this, I would be expected
I don't think
to
you're.
pay my
Yeah, you're
parents
not wrong for expecting like some kind of. I
I
don't
just
know.
feel like paying back for the wedding isn't a thing. You just lost it. You lost the gift you were given. You know, it's like this. It's like
That's
this. If Daddy promised he was going to get you a Corvette for your
I
birthday.
like when you say daddy and look me in the eye.
Yes, daddy. I like
you
it
go
too.
sit on it later. Okay, sorry.
No, and then, you get a DUI, so you can't own a vehicle. He says, look, you blew it. You don't still get the car because you blew it. But you don't owe me for the car. If they already purchased the car, it's not like, well, now you have to deal with the paperwork or whatever. It's just like, look, you blew it.
I don't know what the finances are like of calling off a wedding. And obviously, like, this is for us. I mean, it's a pretty cheap wedding. I think the average wedding does cost like $36,000. So
It's a very
like
cheap
they
wedding.
might, yeah,
They're
they
poor.
probably don't, right? No, but they probably don't
money
have a
is
ton
real.
of finances.
Let me go back to money is
So,
real. Okay, through the money is real lens,
and
this wedding is very cheap, right? Because the average wedding costs $30,000.
yeah, it's a cheap for a wedding, but that doesn't mean like if I had to drop $17,000 tomorrow, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket.
Well, let's do the parents, if the parents, really felt this and they're really hurting from it financially, they really sacrificed. Like, let's say they have some debt.
Maybe like they worked, they scrimped, they saved up for this.
Ooh, that makes me feel so different. Now I'm like, pay it back.
See?
Money is real. I'm telling you, it's a good phrase. Maybe there's a better way I can put it.
Money is real. What do you mean? Like, it's not a social construct, or like
money
we have
is real
to
in the
consider
sense
like
that
our own like
rich
perspectives.
Rich people try to act like money isn't real, where they'll be like, "What? 20 grand is nothing to me." And it's like, well, yeah, it's nothing to you, but it's not nothing to everyone.
So we need to check our economic class privilege.
Well,
sorry that I said that, but like,
well, it matters.
It's true.
I have a coworker who's like, I can't believe you tipped someone $12. And I'm like, really? You're fucking crazy.
What do you mean? Like that's
as opposed to
I tipped an Uber driver $12 on an $18 ride.
Wow, you're so nice.
He was 65, and I could tell he was he used to be an auto mechanic, and he had like an arm and a cast. And
I would do that.
And I was like, you know what? This money means nothing to me. $12 is whether I have Chipotle. It's not even whether I have Chipotle or not. I can get all the Chipotle I want. You know what I mean? But I was very poor for a while.
Gosh,
that's why
Danny's living the life.
That's why I think in terms of Chipotles, because there was a time when Chipotle was a gift from the gods.
Yeah, I've been broke. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always think about that when I'm generous, because I'm like, God, it means everything to them. Like giving we went out, me and two friends, we went to Olive Garden, and we spent $60 there, and we tipped the guy $60. And you know what?
Wait, was this when you did the unlimited breadsticks?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was
this when you palmed him money to get like
it is. Wow.
Okay, you can't count the bribe in with the tip.
Yeah.
All right, fine, 50.
Like I bribed him $60.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that you got to be aware of how much of a difference that can make. And I love that you said script, Sarah, because that just put a totally different image in my head of these. Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, you better fucking pay him back. Now I'm switching to not the asshole.
I'll say this too, when it comes to money, maybe that 17, was it 17K? Whatever amount it was.
17K.
Isn't going to bankrupt them. But when it comes to that, money could be in case of emergencies, like a medical emergency or something like that. Like people who have come from a lot of affluence have this security blanket in their mind that if this shit hits the fan in life, I will be okay, no matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And in lower income, that's you don't have that like peace of mind. So
right.
Especially if this is a cheaper wedding, then maybe these aren't very affluent people, and that's her taking away their peace of mind with her recklessness. So that is true. That
it might have literally impacted their lifestyle. Like if they were scrimping and saving, they're like, well, we're not going to go to Mexico this year. We'll drive to Colorado.
I love that scrimping and saving. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm
from Arizona, Sarah, so you can drive to Mexico.
I'm saying medical bills.
Yeah. And Danny's like, we won't take our yearly resort vacation to Mexico. Oh, we're roughing
I did not come from money, Sarah. Okay, somewhat money. Casa Grande money, baby. All right. Well, I think I don't know where we all stand on this. I guess I'm kind of on a conditional, like, how poor are they thing, where it's like, definitely everyone sucks here if they're comfortable, but if they scrimped at all,
I don't want to play that game.
Yeah,
I think that's a game because money is real. I'm saying it again. I need a better.
Yeah, but I don't like that it's conditional on like whether they're rich or not.
Are we doing moral relativism now?
Yeah, no, I think like regardless.
No, screw you for saying that. I don't think it is relativism. Okay, that's fair. I don't think it is relativism because that's what I'm trying to say is that it does matter how much money you have, right? Like if you're filthy freaking rich and you throw a homeless guy $100, it's like, well, yeah, that's nice of you, but that money meant a penny to you.
Yeah.
So like you should be a philanthropist or whatever, you know?
I also feel like feel like Sarah also has like it seems like your relationship with your parents is that you're held very responsible by your parents. So you're being like, I would never get away with this bullshit.
No, never.
Yeah.
My dad would murder me himself. Just kidding. He would
Yeah.
never do that. But you know what I mean. I don't like playing the game of like, oh, if they're rich, like it's still 17 whole ass $1,000. Like that's still quite a chunk of change.
I think it matters. I think it matters.
I don't like playing that game. I think like rich or not rich, like there should be consequences for your
Yes,
actions.
absolutely. But I think the expectation of money, this is about money. The expectation is about money.
But then the problem is like rich parents who like let their kids get away with murder and they're like, oh, it's fine, crash the Benz. We have the Lamborghini still. It doesn't matter. Like it's all bad if you don't do that. I think so. I'm gonna go NTA. Like I think he's still not the asshole.
Yeah, I'll meet you at NTA. That's fine.
Woo!
All right, fine. Yeah.